What's up, my FMB family? How are you all doing this lovely afternoon? You read my title, you know what it is. 5 things that this pandemic has taught us about travel. I have looked at and followed the travel industry very, very close as far as the pandemic, and I have compiled a list of 5 things that this pandemic has taught us, ranked with importance being number 1. The first thing that the pandemic has taught us is you need travel insurance. When you're booking, spend the extra $30, $40, $50, $60 for the insurance, because in the long run, it's gonna save you a lot of money. Book the insurance. There were a lot of plane tickets and so forth that were purchased during the pandemic that people thought were covered, and when things started shutting down, all their money was lost. I had a friend, I begged her to let me book her trip. No, I don't want to use a travel agent. I don't want to use a travel agent. Why would I use a travel agent for something that I could do myself? And guess what? When she booked her plane tickets and everything shut down, no fault of her own, she never got her money back. She got credits, and then she didn't get her full travel credit. So the most important thing that I would say you need is travel insurance. The second thing I would say you need is a travel agent, a trusted travel agent. Travel agent, people think a lot of times if I use a travel agent, it's gonna cost me a whole lot of more money. In most cases, it doesn't. And what happened was, and still going on now, a lot of vendors, they were so overwhelmed with the shutdowns and so forth, they weren't able to handle the phone calls. So there was like no phone calls. They told you they directed you to email, and it went to unanswered emails, or just long phone lines. I was tied up some days from 8 in the morning to 3 and 4 in the afternoon just to talk about one vacation. If you have a travel agent, they can navigate these things and do the little work for you. Number 3, don't book the unrefundable fare. Lots of times when you're booking travel, there's always going to be one price sitting out there that's way, way lower than the rest. Sometimes it's not way, way lower. Sometimes it's just a matter of a couple of dollars. But in most cases, those fares are non-refundable, non-negotiable, no name change, no cancellation. It's like it's a cheap vacation, but it's a no frills. I was planning on going to Cabo back in September. And I knew that I was going because my Cabo trip was replacing a Jamaica trip that got canceled in June. And I almost book the no seat change, no refund, no nothing, all frills, because that flight was maybe $40 cheaper, because I knew that I was going on this vacation. I went to Cracker Barrels maybe 3 or 4, 5 days before the trip, and me and a friend, we were sitting down talking about the trip, trying to decide some excursions and so forth. Then I get an alert that I got an email. It's an email from Delta with no explanation. Your flight has been canceled. And I almost had booked that non-refundable fare. And I'm thinking, oh my God, I am so glad that I booked the higher fare, and I purchased the insurance. I ended up not being able to go to Cabo because to get a new ticket, it was gonna be like twice what the original ticket was. So I just went to Cancun, a place that I have been many times. But I wouldn't have been able to maneuver these things, and it would have been money just gone. Even though the shady airline canceled everything, no explanation whatsoever, it still would have been pretty much my loss, because that's the kind of seat that I booked. The fourth thing is you need to take some disinfectant and cleaning products with you. I learned on a trip to Miami in June, staying in a Hilton brand hotel, I learned that the maids are not entering your room. Everything is in order like it's supposed to be when you go in. But after that, they'll sit some towels outside your door. There's no cleaning. So you might want to take you some cleaning products with you if you're staying for multiple days. Take you some cleaning products with you. And it just so happened that I had some in my suitcase. And so it was not a problem that they didn't clean up. And number 5, fix you a medicine kit with various things and take it with you, because what this pandemic has showed us is that not all medical professionals are created equal. A lot of the doctors on the ships and on these islands and other countries and so forth, a lot of times they're not held to the America's medical standards. And when this pandemic happened, well, even at first when they were calling it an epidemic, and passengers started getting sick, they weren't equipped and able to handle. The CDC has now required all the professionals to be brought up to standards, and they're going through training and procedures now. But take you a medication bag with you, because you may need to doctor on yourself. A lot of those doctors, they if I cut myself, I can stitch you up and put you back together, but you break your leg, I can make you a cast. Yes, I can stabilize your ankle, little stuff like that. You got nausea, but they aren't equipped. So fix you a little medication bag, something for fever, something for cough and cold, something for nausea, just a wide variety of things, and put it in like a little Ziploc bag and take those things with you in the event that something happens. And those are top 5 things in my world that I feel like the pandemic has taught us. I knew all of these things all along, but a lot of people didn't. Yeah.